Namaste students, welcome back to your geography class. We will continue with the maps and the globes. Today we will study in the last class, children, you had studied about the maps, the large scale types of map, the large scale and the small scale, which comes under map based on scale. Today, and also the maps based on purposes. We finished that. Now we will move on to the components of the map. The different elements of a map play an important role in describing the map details. Numbered here are the descriptions of the cartographic elements commonly found on a map levels. These essential features of a map are found on almost every map around us. They are the title, the scale, the latitudes and the longitudes, the direction, the index or the key, which makes it easier for the people like us to understand the basic components of the map. First, let us move on to the title. Title of a map is one of its vital features. It is the key word that grabs the reader's attention. A short title might be the apt if readers are familiar with the theme being presented. The need for a suitable title, whether small or long, depends on the reader about the title should provide an answer to their what, where and why. So every map must have a suitable title which tells the content of the map. That is, like India, physical features, or India, whether it is a physical feature map of India or it is a political map of the India. And apart from that, we are also having the compass rose, which tells us the directions. Then the symbols, pictures which used instead of words. Then we are also having the legend or the key. The color, which highlights the important or different information to help and interpret the maps. Scale shows the proportion of a map to a real life. Grid references intersecting the lines to help to locate the specific places on the map. Why is it important to give your map a title? So the title tells what a map shows. A map uh, a map's title gives us the first clue about its contents. It usually describes the area shown on the map. It also identifies the map's main topic. So what is this? What is the title of this map, children? United States of America. So it is telling about the American state. Next, we are having the basic components, that is the scale. What is a scale? A scale is a ratio between the distance on the map and corresponding distance on the ground. It helps us to know the distance between the two places on the ground. The distance between 2 points on the map are closer than the actual distance on the map. So it shows the area covered on the map can be expressed as a ratio, a bar or a statement like this. So 1 is to 20 lakh thousand. So here it shows us the 1 inch is equal to 315.7 miles. So that is why scale is very important. So the next one is we are having the latitudes. We are having the latitudes. When I tell the distance, children, the scale. So distance or scale you must always be indicated or implied unless the audience is so familiar with the map area or distance of such relative importance that it can be assumed by the audience. Distance and scale can be indicated in a variety of ways on a map in verbal, numeric or graphic form, children. In using computer system, the graphic form of representing the scale is often preserved, is often preferred. Next, we are having the latitudes and the longitudes. The world map, most of the world maps use the lines of latitudes, that is the horizontal line and the vertical line. So, it shows the latitudes and the longitudes to help us to locate the locate the location, distance and direction of places on the map. Not all the maps use children the grid. It helps to find the location of the places, and they are common found in atlas and on the road maps. So, a grid, when I tell a grid, it represents a series of horizontal and vertical running across this, where it meets a point, we call that as a grid. So, this is always 90 degrees, a grid. So, we call that as a grid running across the map, whereas a grid, and the map reader finds a particular location by following the number and letters in the grid. So, this is about the latitudes and the longitudes. Next, we are having the map content component, that is the compass rose, tells us the cardinal directions, whether it is north, south, east, west, or it is northeast or southeast or southwest or northwest. It tells us the direction. Their purpose is to orient the map. Apart from that, we are also having an index or a key. So, a symbol is used to represent any feature is called as an index. So, the index, children, it is an important component and represents all the features which are shown on the map. Various colors and symbols, you can see here the various colors and the symbols are used in are used in the used in the index. Example, blue color, it represents the water bodies, and the green is used for the lowlands. Okay, this is the symbol for mountains, river, forest, swampland, beach, grave, cave, gumdrop swamp, mountain, lake. So, these are used. So, then we are having the uses of map. So, what are the uses of maps? Maps, it helps us in different ways, like it helps us to locate the places like the towns, cities, districts, states, countries and continents. It is a guide for the tourist to their destination. It is very important for military people at the time of war and security. It helps us to know the major routes of transport such as roads, railways. They show the physical features like the mountains, plateaus, plains, coastal areas, islands, and they are good for teaching learning aids in the classroom, and it is easy to carry. And it is also the places like houses, farm houses, mines can also be shown. We can also mark the crops, weather reports, direction of wind, rainfall on the maps, and the governments need the map to keep the record of the owners. For that, we are having the records. Now, we will move on to the geographical symbols. When we tell geographical symbols, a symbol is a sign that stands for an object. You can see here. These symbols are used in the map, are shown the same all over the world. the symbol gives us a lot of information. You can see this is the airport domestic, airport international, this is for ambulance, this is for cycle wave, this is the boat fueling point, boat ramp, bowling club, bus stop, camping area. Then we are having car park, private college, public college. We are having fire station, golf, guide hall, hospital, hotel. Then we are having the kindergarten, library. You can see the police station. All these are the symbols which we have to know it. Now we will move on to the colors. When we look at the physical map, we can see different colors. So these colors represent different physical features. So in a physical map, the colors are used. The blue color is used for water bodies like seas, oceans, rivers, lakes. And we are having the plain and lowlands. It is actually this is in green color, children. This is green color, this is dark green where I have put. Then we are having the yellow color which stands for the highlands or the land higher than the plains. Then the brown color is for the hills, and the dark brown is for the higher mountains, and the snow covered areas is white in color, or it might be purple. The different colors are used for political maps to show the different political divisions. Different line symbols with different colors are drawn on a map to show the roads, railways, airways, etc. Black lines are used for you can see here, a point is used for spring house tower. Orientation point, live tree, dead tree, live tree, dead tree. Okay, the lines here it is used for national border trail section. Then we are having the for the concrete road. For national border, you see you are having dash, dot, dash, and this for the state border. And we are apart from that, we are also having the black lines which are used for boundaries, red for roads, children. You can see here red for roads, for etc. Now we will move on to the, see here also you can see track multiple or single, track under construction. These are the signs. Siding, this is used for a tunnel. This is for the light rapid transit system. Narrow gauge or transway. This is the bridges or for the footbridge. This is the level crossing, and this is the viaduct, the station, and the light rapid transit system station. Now we will move on to the map reading. This is the last topic of your chapter. Map reading is the process of looking at the map to determine what is depicted and how is the cartographer depicted it. This involves identifying the features of a phenomena portrayed, the symbols and labels used. The information about the map that may not be displayed on the map. Reading maps accurately and effectively requires at least the basic understanding of how map maker has made important cartographic decisions relating to the map scale. Map projectors coordinate the systems and cartographic complications. Proficient map readers also appreciate the artifacts of the cartographic cumulation process that improve the readability but may also affect the map accuracy and uncertainties. Masters of map reading use the maps to gain the better understanding of the environment. Through successful map reading, a person cartographic and the mental maps were merged to tune the reader's spatial thinking to the reality of the environment. So this map reading helps us to know the symbols. Just as you need to know the letters of the alphabets to form a meaningful words. In the same way, we have to know the meaning of the colors, lines and symbols uh, which are used in the map. So, map reading is a skill, children. We must know the four skills of map reading, and we need certain directions. First one is to locate the places. First, we have to locate a place on the map. We had to know, before locating the places, we had to know the latitude and longitude on which the place is located. Next is to find the direction. The symbol of the arrow pointing to the north helps us to know whether it is north or south. And to find the distance, the scale given on the map helps us to know the distance between the two places. So, now let us move on to the last part, uh, that is the history of the maps. As we all know, we will conclude with this, children. As we all know, a map is a symbolic depiction emphasizing the relationship between the elements from space, such as objects, regions, or theme. When we move on to the history, when we move on to the history of maps, humans have long recognized the importance and value of maps to their lives. Indeed, the history of mapping can be traced to more than 5,000 years ago. Maps are essential tool which makes for the map maker record the location, places of interest, or for other as a sources learning and geography of the area. When we move on to the history of the when we move on to the history of the early maps compared to the modern maps, the early sorry, to the early maps, the humans were long recognized the importance and value of maps. It goes 5,000 years ago. Maps are essential tools for which map maker record the location of places of the interest. Compared to modern maps, the early maps depicted the small area and were pictorial in nature, while they are crude compared to the modern maps. They had no rules relating how they were oriented, but now the modern maps usually have the north at the top. And the map was first found in Babylonia, is the oldest one. The Greek astronomer Chaldeus Ptolemy prepared the first atlas, and also the relative simple sketch on clay tablets by the Babylonians and extensive work of the Egyptians to documents and records property boundaries. Delicate map on silk from China. So the Greek and the Roman continued to refine the art of map making. Culminating with the work of the Claudius Ptolemy was a geographer, mathematician, and astronomer who lived in Roman Egypt in about 150 AD. He famously published a scientific treatise called as the Geographia. In English, it is Geography. This contained thousands of reference and maps of various parts of the world with the longitude and latitude lines. This system revolutionized the European geographic thinking by imposing the mathematical rules to the composition of the maps. Ptolemy works continued to be the great importance of the European and Islamic scholars well into the Renaissance, that is in 1500. And apart from that, the maps Large scale maps represents the small areas, while small scale map represents the large areas. So to understand between the correct distance between the two places, we had to convert centimeters into kilometers and inches into miles. The needle in the magnetic compass always it points towards the north. So with this we finish up with the chapter globes and the maps. Thank you, children.